When was the last time I told you I loved you?
Ooh, about 10 minutes ago, but don't stop.
You know, you're even more beautiful now than the day we were married.
You know, I feel a little bit like the blushing bride. I'm sure the kids know I didn't come home to sleep last night.
We're married. It's okay.
Jess is going to be thrilled. She kept saying we're going to get back together because she knew we were still in love.
That's my girl. Smart as they come.
Congratulations! I wonder if Tabitha's still running around without a head. Holy! She's a witch, and I'm gonna prove it.
Jimmy doesn't want to be up in this hot, stuffy attic.
Well, tough toadstools. We can't very well go downstairs and join the others until I get my head back on straight, especially with that nosy Parker Reese slurking about.
Jimmy's sorry. He knows it's all his fault. You'll see, Princess. Jimmy will save you. Princess, you have to believe Jimmy. He never ever meant to chop your head off.
Can the tears cry, baby? And help me sew my head back on. And do it right so it stays put.
Needles. Jimmy hates needles.
Just get over it and do as I tell you so we can get out of this attic. Hot as blazes up here. And I should know.
Stop with the crazy talk. You're not going to kill Alistair Crane.
Probably right. I'd like to.
You even said yourself that you don't have any proof that he was involved with Julian in that wild scheme to break up you and Sheridan.
Hank, I don't need proof. I'm sure that he was behind it as sure as I know my name.
What about Sheridan?
Yeah, well, she knows it in her head. Probably not in her heart. She's been trying to get her father to love her ever since she was a little girl, and she's never gotten it. I'm afraid that's why Alistair came back to haunt me.
I don't get it.
It's just because your mind is not as diabolical as his. See, Alistair would do anything to keep me and Sheridan from getting married, including using her need for his approval to control what she does.
Talk about dirty pool, man.
Yeah, you say that again. You know what? I'm gonna call her. I'll call her to warn her of what's going on.
Why can't we hear Alistair and Sheridan at the cottage? You don't think that thing's broken, do you?
No, I think it's working just fine. The reason we can't hear what they're saying is that Sheridan's too overcome with emotion to speak. Father's convinced her that he genuinely loves her.
How can any man be so cruel to his own daughter?
Father thinks that love is a waste of time. Better spent. The only thing he cares about is the Crane Empire.
Your sister's so bright. I mean, why isn't she more suspicious?
Because he's telling her what she's always wanted to hear. You should know that by now. The brain has very little in common with the heart. Now here's the tricky part. Will Father be able to manipulate Sheridan out of her marriage to Louise?
You do love me. You really do.
Of course, darling. You're my flesh and blood, my pride and joy, my very own beautiful daughter. I can't tell you how horrified I was when I got wind of Julian's insane scheme to break up you and Louise.
Really?
I was livid. I can't imagine how you felt at your brother's betrayal.
I'm so confused. I even thought that the two of you had planned it together.
You wound me deeply, darling.
I know. And I'm sorry. But now I know better. It's just that when it was happening, it brought back all those feelings I had after Mother died. And I felt so alone, like no one would ever love me again.
You poor dear. Will you ever be able to forgive your father for being so neglectful? It's a pitiable excuse, I know, but I was too busy nursing my own grief over your mother's death to realize how much you needed me. But that's water under the bridge. I know better now, and I'm home. You'll never be alone again.
Once I marry Luis, I'll have both of you. That's probably Luis.
Rats. If Sheridan tells Louise she's with Father, it can ruin everything.
Don't answer. Not now, when we've just found one another again. There's so much I want to tell you.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of a bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out, you keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
I'm just so glad that you guys worked it all out.
Oh, I knew they would. I told you last night that you guys would make up, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
So you promise that you're never gonna break up as long as you live?
You have my word. You know, lucky for me, your mom's the most understanding woman in the world. You know, I don't know what I ever did to deserve her.
Oh, where should I start? How about 20 years ago when you rescued me from that fire? I wouldn't even be alive if it weren't for you, Sam.
That's exactly what I want us to be like when we get married. We're never gonna break up either.
I can't believe it, but I have my soul back. I feel so wonderful.
You have confessed your sins, and once you have done your penance, your soul will be pristine. You can keep it that way, but only if you change your ways.
I want to be good, Father. I won't go after Miguel anymore. I have to be good. I have to be good. Hey, guys. Hi.
Hey, Kay. How's Simone? Has there been any change, or?
Is she still conscious?
Yeah. And her eyes are open, and she's talking, and...
Does she remember anything from the accident?
No. It's like her mind's a blank when it comes to the accident.
Well, it's not unusual, but it'll be tougher to find the creep who hit her and drove off.
Hey, are you guys... What did I miss?
That's the best news, Kay. Mom and Dad are back together.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for all of us. That's great.
What do you think?
What do I think? I think that it was crazy for me to think Kay had no soul. Clearly, she couldn't be this happy about her parents without one.
Can't wait to tell Tabitha about Mom and Dad. Wonder where she is.
Ouch! Ouch! Watch it!
This is hurting Timmy more than it's hurting you, Princess.
I sincerely doubt that. Will you at least try and make the stitches a little straighter? Otherwise, I'll look like the bride of Frankenstein, if not Frankenstein himself.
Oh no, Princess. You're just as beautiful today as you were the first day Timmy laid eyes on you. Is this the same needle and thread that Princess used to sew Timmy back together?
Well, now that you mention it... Oh, enough with this stroll down memory lane. Are you through?
Oh. Yep. Timmy hopes this does the job.
Oh, so do I. Well, I better get downstairs before some smart Alex starts looking for me.
Aha!
What do you think you're doing up here?
I might ask you the same question. Do you always come up to a hot, stuffy attic to do your sewing?
As a matter of fact, I do. Not that it's any of your business. Hey.
Hi, this is Sheridan. I can't come to the phone right now, but if you'll leave a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hey, babe, it's me. Pick up.
You can talk to him later, darling. There's so much I still want to tell you.
Oh, well, maybe you're out in the garden.
Just let me tell him that you're back. I mean, wait till he hears that you've given us your blessing.
His blessing, more like his curse. Father's going to destroy Louise and Sheridan before they ever get close to saying their I do's.
Okay, well, I'll see you soon. I love you.
What's the rush, dear? Give your poor old father some long overdue one-on-one time with his precious little girl.
Thank God Father's baited the hook. Now all he has to do is reel her in before Louise gets to her.
She wasn't home?
She's probably taking a walk out in the garden. You know, maybe I should go over there. I don't trust Alistair as far as I can throw him.
Guy sounds like a real monster.
Hank, even my mother says that he's got a stone where his heart's supposed to be, and she doesn't say anything bad about anyone.
Oh, I'll vouch for that. What's the old man gonna do? I mean, you and Sheridan have pretty much proven that there's nothing that's gonna tear you two apart.
Yeah. You would think they would have gotten it by now, right? I guess that's why I'm on guard. See, the way I see it, it's perfect time for Alistair to strike. Sheridan's vulnerable, her guard's down. Hank, come on. Everyone's told me that whenever Alistair wants something, he won't stop until he wins. Now, come on, let's go over there.
I have waited my whole life to hear you say you love me.
I'm sorry it took so long, darling. It wasn't that I didn't feel it. I simply didn't realize how important it was to say it or show it. Thank God I learned otherwise before I lost you for good.
Father, there's something I want to ask you. It's about my marriage to Louise.
What is it, dear?
All my life I've dreamed of having my father walk me down the aisle when I get married. Now that you're home, would you consider it?
Nothing would make me prouder. I'm only sorry I don't know your Luis very well. I'd love to be able to convince him we Cranes had nothing to do with his father's disappearance.
If only you could. I mean, that would be the most incredible wedding gift to me. If you two could just shake hands and put the past behind you.
All in good time, my dear.
All right, here it comes. This is where Father gets Sheridan to agree not to marry Louise.
Unfortunately, time is one thing we don't have.
Louise and I are getting married right away.
Oh, dear. Well, there goes my surprise.
What surprise?
I might as well tell you now. It was silly, I suppose, just an old man's fantasy about making up for lost time. I had my heart set on the two of us taking a little jaunt to Europe. Just you and me, together for a long, deserved time alone.
Hey, if you don't mind, Ross.
Just one question. Why this scarf? It must be in the 80s today. You wouldn't be trying to hide something, would you?
Oh. Ow! Oh dear, I'm afraid these old stairs are a bit treacherous for people who aren't used to them.
Oh, Tabitha. Oh, guess what? It's the best news you can imagine.
Don't tell me.
Mom and Dad are back together.
Oh, how perfectly grand. Oh, I'm so happy for you, my dear.
Tabitha.
You okay?
Better than okay. I'm about this close to proving that Tabitha is a bona fide witch.
Would you give it a rest, Reese?
Not a chance. You know why she's wearing that scarf around her neck? To hide the fact that her little doll just sewed her head back on.
Maybe you got a concussion when you fell down the stairs.
I'm not making this up. It's for real.
I'm sorry, Reese. You spend too much time in front of the computer. You know, you need to get out in the fresh air more.
Tabitha, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you've done for my family since the demon incident cost us our house.
No, what a neighbour's for. I'm only happy to do what I can. But I suppose that means you'll be staying here as well, Sam.
Well, I'd love to, but we still have the same problem. Not enough room. I'm looking into renting us something until we can rebuild our new house, but it may take some time, what with all the summer rentals being taken.
Well, don't rush on my account. The more the merrier, I say.
Well, there'll be some nights when I'm not here anyway. You know, I'll be visiting Sam at the police station.
As well you should, dear. Well, don't worry, I'll chaperone the girls and make sure that Miguel doesn't stay too late with his darling Charity.
Be good. Hey, how about I make everybody some lunch?
Am I or did our daughter Kay just offer to make everyone lunch?
Oh, thanks a lot, Mom.
Oh, don't blame your mother for acting surprised. You're making lunch without being asked? Well, I think that's a first.
Well, I'm just happy you guys are back together.
Whatever.
You know, this is what I missed most of all. The whole family in the same place. Now, I promise you, it won't be long until we're in our new home. And once we are, we're never going to be apart again.
Why don't we all sing "Oh, Happy Day" and throw up? All this love's making me sick to my stomach. Even Kay's joined the other team.
Timmy likes the new and improved Kay.
Yes, well, don't get too used to it. Kay isn't the Pollyanna forever type. Not when she has to watch Charity and Miguel getting closer and closer every day. And as far as Grace and Sam go, I hope they enjoy their moment of reconciliation, because it's going to be very short-lived. Evil may have taken a little sabbatical from Harmony, but mark my words, it'll be back.
All right, everything appears to be in order, sir. Your keys? Any idea how long you'll be keeping the car?
Well, that depends. How far is it to Harmony from here?
Not far at all. In fact, I'll show you the quickest route.
Sheridan's home.
My dear, I can't tell you how disappointed I am.
Oh, my God.
It was too much to ask.
It's Alistair. Recognize his voice.
If only I'd asked before you set the date. I had such dreams of the two of us touring Provence together. There's so many places I'd love to show you.
Sounds wonderful, Father, but Luis and I are getting married in a few days.
I knew it. Her father came home to finish off with his twisted plan with Julie and didn't accomplish. Hank, they'll do anything to break us up.
What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna make him sorry. Maybe not. You know, as much as I'd like to go in there and break his neck, maybe Sheridan needs to figure out what her father's doing on her own. Otherwise, she's never gonna realize 100% that her father doesn't love her.
I have no right to ask you to postpone your wedding. It's just that I'm not getting any younger, and who knows when or if we'll ever have an opportunity like this again. Sheridan, dear, there's a small church outside Paris I wanted to show you in particular. It's where your mother first let me kiss her when we started courting.
Really?
I think of her every day. I try not to, but it seems the longer she's gone, the more I miss her. You remind me so much of her. We'd only be gone a week or two. Oh, what am I saying? Your wedding is far more important than keeping an old man company.
Oh, listen to the master at work. There's no way Sheridan will ever be able to resist his pitch.
Well, it is ingenious. I mean, Sheridan will tell Louise that she wants to postpone the wedding for a couple of weeks so she can go to Europe with her father.
Only it'll be the longest 2 weeks in history. Once Father gets Sheridan out of town, he'll make sure she never comes back to Louise.
This is killing you. Go in there and tell Sheridan that her father doesn't mean a word that he's saying. That he's just trying to keep her from marrying you.
How can I, Hank? Just because I can see through that slimeball's act, that doesn't mean that Sheridan's gonna believe me. As hard as it is for me to stand here and listen to those lies, Sheridan's gotta be the one who's gonna see right through them. She's gotta be the one to face the cold, hard facts that her father's never loved her and he never will.
I was just hoping this little pre-wedding trip might help make up for all the time we've lost. We could fly to Paris tonight.
I want to marry Luis right away. I hate to just spend one night away from him, and so many people would be disappointed if I postponed the wedding.
Of course.
What you're offering me, this is something that I have dreamed of my entire life. You and me spending time together like other fathers and daughters, getting to know one another.
Too little, too late, I'm afraid.
It means so much to me that you even want to do that. I've been hearing what you said about how much Mother meant to you, and how you would have spent more time with me as a child, but I reminded you so much of her. Oh, now you're flying home after Julian pulled this awful stunt.
This is undamn believable. He's passed off this whole imposter scheme on Julian, and there is no doubt in my mind that Alistair was involved, if not more than Julian. Come on, Sheridan. Come on. Don't buy that. As much as you want to believe him, don't. It ain't true. Come on, Sheridan. Just think. He's just trying to break us up. You can see right through him. I know you can.
Well, it's all over at the Bon Voyage party. Your sister's buying every line out of Father's mouth. She doesn't know it yet, but she and Luis are finished.
You don't believe me, but when we were at the hospital the other night, I saw that little doll run by carrying Tabitha's head and her body chasing after him.
Not another word, Reese. You need help.
But it's the truth. I'll prove it to you.
Hey, dear, I wanted to ask you...
Reese, how could you?
I told you. Her head has been sewn back on. See for yourselves. Tabitha's head has been sewn on. It proves that she's a witch.
The nerve of him. Never in all my born days have I known such a...
It's true. Just that is enough.
You know what? Leave Tabitha alone.
But...
No. How can you act like this towards Tabitha when she has been so nice to my family?
I am so sorry, Tabitha. I think we're all just a bit wound up from the events of the last few days.
You owe Tabitha an apology.
I beg to differ, sir. I just almost caught her and her little doll upstairs a little while ago, sewing her head back on her neck. It's true. And I saw her last night running around without her head.
Oh, what an imagination the boy's got. What you saw were scratches on my neck from the thorns on my rose bushes in the garden. His imagination's running away with him again.
Were the scratches bad, Tabitha?
Oh, well, not really. Oh, I suppose you think I'm vain wearing a scarf like this, but I just didn't want anyone to notice the blemish. Kay, dear, would you make me a cup of tea, please? My nerves are positively frayed.
Of course. All right, look. Not one more word against Tabitha. No. She's the nicest old lady I've ever met.
Tabitha, please sit while I make your tea.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Now's the time to see if we can get Kay to revert to her old ways, go back to getting after Miguel again.
Tabitha, did you say something?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying to my Timmy, I'm sorry we took you away from the others, especially Miguel. As you know, I've always had high hopes for the two of you. Now, you're not giving up on him, are you?
Sheridan agrees to go to Europe with her father, we can forget about getting married. Alistair will make sure of that.
No, you can't blame her if she says yes. You told me yourself how much her father's love means to her.
Yeah. Hope she's strong enough to see through him. But I know that's asking a lot.
Come to Europe with me, sweetheart. Postpone your marriage to Luis for a couple of weeks, or maybe just a little longer.
No, Father. I'm not going away with you.
But I wanted it to be my pre-wedding gift.
It's not necessary. You've just given me the best wedding present I could ever have. Now I finally know who you are and what you think of me, and what a fool I've been to want your love. I was so desperate for it that I almost fell for your pack of lies.
Lies? What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, don't deny it! I mean, you must have this cottage wired. You must have heard me tell Luis that I would give anything to have you walk through that door and tell me that you love me. And gee, what a coincidence. That's exactly what you did. You walked in here and you took me in your arms and you told me that you loved me. You're disgusting.
Sweetheart, you couldn't be more wrong. I do love you with all my heart. I thought this trip would be the answer to both our prayers.
Only yours. Only the one that you have of destroying Luis and me. Yeah, I didn't think anyone could stoop lower than Julian with his imposter scheme. But you, Father, you just took the prize for playing dirty. And by the way, I know Julian didn't come up with that on his own because he doesn't do anything without your permission. So once again, you've failed. So you can just go back to Europe or wherever it is you spend your time making money and just...
You'll listen to me, young lady, and you listen well. You will never marry that snooping low-life policeman from the wrong side of the tracks.
Sheridan!
Please.
Horrors. Sheridan saw through Father's game.
Oh my God, Pookie, what are we gonna do?
I don't want to think. We'd better go to the cottage and try to calm Father down.
I don't want to intrude, Kay, but you've always confided to me, and it's meant ever so much, so tell me, how are things going between you and Miguel these days?
Oh, they're not. I've decided not to go after Miguel anymore.
But why? You two are so obviously meant to be together.
He loves Charity. I mean, he cares about me, but basically as a friend.
Oh, surely Kay Bennett isn't going to let a little thing like that stand in the way of true love.
I don't have a choice. I love Miguel now just as much as I ever did. And he even admitted that if Charity hadn't come to Harmony, he and I would be together. But the fact is that she did. And that's that. I don't want to fight it anymore. It's not right.
Oh, well. I never thought you would have given up so easy.
That's not easy, Tabitha. This is one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, trust me. But I have to do it. I have to be good. I have to be good.
It looks to Timmy like Kay's gone straight. She's not going to try to break up Miguel and Charity anymore.
Fat lot, you know. When bad people say they're going to be good, that's when the real trouble begins.
Did you get a chance to check under Tabitha's scarf?
Reese, if you don't shut up about stitches on Tabitha's neck, I'm not going to talk to you again, ever.
Please don't say that. I promise, from now on, we're shield.
Good. Now, keep them that way. Hey, guys. I was thinking, now that Mom and Dad are back together and Simone's gonna get out of the hospital soon, maybe we should plan our school trip.
No more proms after last year's disaster.
I can hardly blame you, Miguel. But you might fare better if you try and stay on dry ground this time around.
Yeah.
I don't want to party until Simone's out of the hospital.
And besides, you know, we're gonna have so much stuff going on with my family's double wedding, so...
Oh, that's right. Oh, my. Louise is marrying Sheridan Crane, and your sister's marrying young Ethan the same day.
Charity and I are going to be in the wedding party.
I have to be good. I have to be good.
10 to 1, she'll break her resolution before the week's out.
Maybe we could put off planning a party, but we could start planning the trip. Yeah?
I, for one, vote that we go back to Harmony's original settlement. I'd love to do some more research on witches.
No.
Negative.
Granted, I mean, Tabitha's... she's a little strange, but, you know, Reese was way out of line calling her a witch.
Especially with how wonderful she's been to all of us. I mean, you know, I almost think of her as the family I lost along with my memories so many years ago.
You know, you've had a tough time of it since I found you in that fire in Boston.
Yeah, but I don't feel sorry for myself. I mean, sometimes I wish I knew more about my life before I met you. But most of the time, I feel like one of the luckiest people in the world.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, when I compare the last 20 years of my life to somebody like Ivy, I feel very lucky indeed. And ain't nothing, or nobody, ever coming between us again.
Well, the magazine article said Grace Bennett's the longtime owner of Grace's Bed and Breakfast. Well, now I knew where to find her.
Everything okay in here?
Sheridan and I are fine. Can't answer for him.
You two have never met my father, have you?
Only on the phone.
Father, I would like you to meet the man I'm going to marry. And our good friend Hank.
That was some performance, Mr. Crane. I've met a few sleazy people in my life, but you definitely take the cake.
I don't have to stand here and take this.
No. You're not going anywhere until I'm through with you. You're a loser.
I hardly think so, officer. I'm one of the wealthiest, most powerful...
losers in the world! I wish I would have had the opportunity to have met Sheridan's mother. She must have been a very special person. Your daughter bears no resemblance to you whatsoever. Furthermore, you don't know the first thing about her. She's a special, generous, and beautiful person. And she's got more courage in her little finger than you will ever know. And that's why I'm the luckiest man in the world. Because I'll be marrying her in a few days. And that's why you're the sorriest. You got nothing to say about it from here on in.
It's worse than I thought. Louise just signed Sheridan's death warrant.
I can't keep you away if you insist upon coming to the wedding. But I'm sure you'll understand why I would like to walk down the aisle by myself. It's painfully obvious that you don't approve of this marriage, and I'm not going to start my life with Louise with lies.
You think you know everything about me, Sheridan. But do you honestly believe you know everything about yourself?
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't listen to him. Just a sore loser trying to get in the last word.
Think what you like.
Goodbye, Father.
We're so sorry, Alistair.
We heard everything, Father.
Then you know what to do. Sheridan must be killed.
I'll make the coffee.
You okay?
It hurts to know for sure now that my father never loved me. But at the same time, I was able to get past some old ghosts. Now I know nothing will ever come between us. Nothing.
What are you gonna do?
You heard Father. I have to kill my own sister.
Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know where Grace's bed and breakfast is, would you?
2 blocks down on the left. You can't miss it. If she's not there, try next door at Tabitha Lennox's house. They're staying there where the family's building a new home.
Thank you.
I would have to say that is a very good job.
Good enough job to merit a reward.
What kind of reward were you thinking of?
The kind where maybe we could sneak past the kids and up to your bedroom.
Worth a try.
I always wanted to go on one of those lighthouse tours in Maine.
Boring.
Well, no, what about Vermont?
Vermont's fine.
That's boring.
Oh, Sam, Grace, hi.
Oh, Mom, Dad. Hey, you guys are just in time to help us pick out a place for our end-of-the-year school trip.
Oh, maps and everything. What are you guys thinking about?
We're thinking somewhere in New England.
Well, I don't care where you go, as long as it's safe and inexpensive to get to.
Yeah, but Dad, we don't want to feel like we're too close to home either. Hey, I've got it!
Where?
This island right off the coast.
Let me
Look.
see. Warlock Island.
Tabitha.
Tabitha.